Oh, and Octojoe, we were talking about art, and I just hope real art doesn't get diluted or forgotten, and will students in 500 years be studying how to preserve a cow in preservatives or making sculptures from scrap? I fucking hope not, but you never know, as long as peons are willing to pay thousands for it. Well, that's one of those things. Look, man, before I ever took any art classes or history of art, I would have been inclined to agree with you. I remember as a kid, I was going on a field trip to the Museum of Modern Art in San Diego. I was just amazed that this guy had taken plexiglass, basically plexiglass boxes, clear so you could look into it, and filled it with trash. And it was in this modern art museum. You know, and as a kid I go, well, I could do this, you know. And sure, anybody could. But does everybody do that? No. It takes a certain type of person to actually go through that actual work and do that. And yes, I believe hundreds of years from now, if we're still alive, knock wood, if man still can survive in the year 2525, they will probably talk about this era. And the interesting thing about artistic movements is that we don't really know we're in a true movement or what to think about it until somebody else looks back at it. You know, it's hard to know that you're in the middle of something in some cases, and sometimes you do. Sometimes you do, and but I'm sure the average person didn't appreciate the grand masterful works of art that we can appreciate now after all this time has gone by. But one thing about these cows in formaldehyde that an artist in Britain did, like a pretty important English artist, I believe. He's considered important. We might think it's all silly, but the point about Kurt Vonnegut and the idea of that if you find a certain type of art offensive or you don't understand it, it's all about saying something about our society, something we live in. And I might just look into, try to delve into this a little bit, but to say the reason why that cow floating in formaldehyde might say something about how we view animals. Most of us are city dwellers now. We are way out of touch with living on the farm and seeing animals firsthand. We just go to the grocery store and there's the meat already cut up. We never have to smell what manure smells like. And so I think he's making a statement in that regard. That and also that sliced up into sections, the way that we, it's taking away the personal touch, that animals are almost this alien thing. And I think it almost touched a little bit on our modern medical system too, where we can view the human body or an animal body with CAT scans and stuff, and slicing it up and viewing it from different views. You've seen like those things they do with the brain, and they can kind of go through the brain at different sections to look for tumors. I think it's saying a little bit about that, but does it compare to like the craftsmanship or the expertise that it took, you know, Leonardo da Vinci to paint the Last Supper? No, but we live in a modern world. We have technology to do that for us now. So that's another statement of our times. All right, that was my little art appreciation lecture. And feel free to disagree. I know a lot of it's silly. I can't really recommend a lot of modern art, but I still think it's interesting. Mainly for me, I'm really jealous of the guy that he could get away with it. Man, I wish I could have the balls to like pull that off and go, yeah, that's art, you know, and say it with a straight face. But that's also part of it, you know, the personality behind the work. A little bit of news: the street artist Shepard Fairey, the guy who did the Obama poster, was arrested, and he may face prison time for past activities in street art. Now that was one of those things when they first started talking about graffiti artists being valid art. The first few articles I read on that, I said, no way, because what I see on my streets is just tagging, And how that could be a form of art, I just didn't get it. And they're not my favorite artists because they use spray cans and there's this hoodlum mystique. But granted, you know, I was a naysayer, but it is moving towards more accepted form of art. Oh, here I still have a headache. I didn't feel like doing Fez Night. I am sort of unwinding a little bit, feeling a little better. I was really, really agitated earlier. Anyway, and Tony63FC, thanks for stopping by. And and he mentioned a celebrity whose signed photo is on his bedroom wall is the French actress Emmanuelle Biert. I remember her in Manon of the Spring. And she is intelligent as well as beautiful and is, I believe, a UNICEF ambassador. Yes, you can have brains and beauty. They can go together. But once getting off on that thing before, when I was talking about the law of attraction, yeah, I was totally talking about what I find attractive in women, which was not what Gen 8 Infinity, I think that was it, Gen 8 Infinity was asking about at all. But she was talking about something that is sort of in the realm of karma, but the idea that if you put out positive energy, you'll receive positive energy. Look, I try as I can to believe in stuff like that. I grew up, my mother dragging me forcing me to go to a Pentecostal church, and at one time I was a believer, and then at some point I lost my faith. So I'm a little bit dubious about anything that's sort of magical thinking because I've had magical thinking. I've been like borderline insane. I have been insane, you know, to really think, you know, wow, something's really happening here, you know, and sometimes it's just good to just be rooted in reality. And a lot of what's been going on with the country and everything, and this signing the stimulus bill, part of me just says, get that bill through. If the bill goes through, things will be okay. But the realist in me says, look, even if it goes through and it does make things better, it's not going to make things better soon enough to help a lot of us. I'm experimenting with taking my glasses on and off a lot. Crazy Cat F Guy, I forgot what your new channel name is. PSM Pos Dude. I don't know what it is. Sorry, man. I just still think of you as Crazy Cat F Dude. Alan said something about like my glasses don't work for me now that I have the short hair. But I'm not going to spring for contacts. I don't want to wear contacts. And I don't really need my glasses that much except for reading. And here we go. Let's do some more reading. Oh, and I'm just babbling. But thanks, Gore and Trisha. God, Trisha Kitty talked about how the arts, yeah, that stimulus package, the Republicans saying that some of the money should not go towards arts. And I also briefly mentioned Planned Parenthood type sort of projects like birth control and things like that. Hey, that generates jobs and preventing other mouths to be fed. I think that's a good thing. Come on. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying the stimulus package is perfect, but the Keynesian's idea is to just spend money, like priming a pump, you know, like putting those shock paddles on a heart. You can't turn the voltage halfway down. You got to turn it all the way up. Zap! To get it to work. Because if you just like throw in a little bit of money, it ain't going to do nothing. That's the Keynesian idea. It's got to be a lot of money.